Let's do it. So, power return. What the hell just happened? The cart actually killed Martian Manhunter and gave us the power mid-special. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That was just cool. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, HollywoodShono here, about to give you another Injustice Gods Among Us video. In this video, I wanted to talk about an old post from 2013, when Injustice Gods Among Us, the mobile game, was actually doing $1 million a day. So in previous editions of the charticle, we've examined how Disney manages to simultaneously promote its movie releases and generate significant revenues through its mobile gaming offerings. Temple Run Brave, for instance, was developed with Amanji Studios to promote Pixar's CG movie. Despite the fact that Temple Run found success as a free-to-play game, this new installment charged players 99 cents up front and still managed to peak at number 3 in the U.S. top-grossing apps chart. Now, Warner Brothers is looking to emulate Disney's success. This week, the company will release Injustice Gods Among Us for home consoles, a DC-themed fighting game from the makers of Mortal Kombat. And in preparation, the company has launched an iOS version of the game that features similar beat-em-up action imbued with energy mechanics, collectible cards, and a little bit of gacha. To find out exactly how that combination has gone down with players, we examined the App Store data. At launch on the 4th of April 2013, Injustice shot straight into number 4 on the U.S. App Store's top free apps chart, behind Sonic Dash, Vine, and Candy Crush Saga. 24 hours later, the game had reached pole position. It remained the most downloaded free app on the App Store for 2 more days before installs began to drop off slightly. They remained strong, though, at the time of writing. Injustice is 6th in the U.S. App Store's free games chart. Analytics graph showing Injustice Gods Among Us performance on the U.S. App Store's download charts, and analytic data courtesy of App Annie. And according to Distimo estimates based on data from the 13th of April, the game is currently generating around 100,000 installs a day in the US alone. Gods and money. So Injustice is certainly acquiring plenty of users, helped no doubt by a number of featured spots from Apple, an association with DC Comics, and Warner's marketing dollars. But let's take a closer look at the monetization. Injustice's in-app purchases include energy packs and virtual currency packs. Energy is expended each time you enter a bout, but refills over time, much like in CSR Racing, for instance. If a player wants a lengthy session with Injustice, they'll likely need to spend real money to recharge their character's energy. Now, back in the day, obviously what you would do is buy all of your silver, gold, and bronze cards and fill out your roster that way so you could play an infinite amount of time. And once you hit about 40 characters, you were able to reliably do this in Battle 36. Battle 32, you could do it with around 25, 30 characters. But people didn't know that at the time. This was when the game was brand new. In-game currency, meanwhile, is earned through play, although rather slowly, and can be spent on characters' cards and support cards. Support cards are generally cheaper and start out at 3,000 coins, while the most expensive characters usually cost as much as 220,000 coins. Now, keep in mind, this is when the game was first out. Arkham Origins Batman was not in currently, as he was later put in around 1.3 or slightly later than that. Some of the pricier characters on offer through Injustice Store. Injustice's in-game store charges $1.99 for a pack of 12,000 coins, $19.99 for a pack of 192,000 coins, and $100 for its largest currency pack, which contains a whopping 1.5 million coins, which back then was able to fully promote a character. Now you're lucky to get 3 promotions on a new challenge card. The gods do not throw dice, but rather than spend these coins directly on characters and support items, users are also able to spend them on booster packs that contain a semi-random selection of cards. And back in the early days, you mostly got Insurgency Joker and Gold Black Adam from the 75,000 gold booster pack. And it was a pretty rare chance to actually get other gold cards, which is why people experimented with the 100,000 credit pack and learned that all the characters were available. In a system that shares much in common with the gacha mechanics found in certain Japanese card battlers, although it's worth noting that the system shouldn't be confused with the controversial complete gacha system that attracted the attention of Japanese regulators in 2012. These booster packs range in price from 8,000 to 100,000 coins and offer the tantalizing prospect of getting valuable cards for considerably less than their in-store prices, meaning you can select a card. Now, selecting a card back then was really good if you got Doomsday, because he could win the game by himself by just doing super moves and eliminating people. So it's fundamentally a gamble, and you could, of course, be left with nothing but NAF cards and regret. Basically, Black Adam, Insurgency Joker, and there were a couple others that were just really bad. And if all that wasn't enough, Injustice also features cross-platform compatibility with the forthcoming home console game. iOS players can unlock items in the console version of Injustice and vice versa, giving additional incentive for players to open their wallets, meaning that if you want the stuff right away for the console version of Injustice Gods Among Us, you had to shell out stuff in the mobile version to actually get it. So there are some interesting monetization mechanics at work here, and they seem to be working well for Warner Brothers. By the 6th of April, Injustice had broken into the top 10 grossing games on the US App Store, where it's maintained ever since, hovering between number 6 and 9 in the rankings for more than a week so far. According to estimates provided by PocketGamer.biz by Distimo, Injustice's revenue total for the US App Store surpassed $1 million on the 13th of April, just 9 days after its launch in the region, meaning that people spent over $100,000 a day on this game at one point. And this is when the game was brand new. Considering the fact that Injustice has penetrated the top 10 grossing games chart in more than 40 countries worldwide, it seems safe to speculate that it's brought in considerably more revenue than that to date, all while generating interest in its console sibling. And that's the key point here. By tying these two games together, Warner Brothers has created some powerful cross-promotion opportunities. The cross-platform compatibility, for instance, creates incentives for iOS Injustice players to pick up the console game and for console gamers to download the iOS version, even if they might not have otherwise bothered. And even if Injustice iOS wasn't sitting in the upper echelons of the top grossing charts, it would have had value as a promotional tool marketing a console game to its substantial player base. But with an overlapping system of monetization mechanics and game design, Warner has effectively made what could have been a pricey marketing tool and a money spinner in its own right. So Distimo App IQ provides download and revenue estimations for any app worldwide based on daily sampling of transactional app data of over 3 billion downloads a quarter and publicly available information. So this is basically the article. You can find it in the URL here, which is obviously really small because I'm on a 4K monitor. And let's check out some more information. So we go into mobile revenue, and you can see that on the 16th of April, and actually on the 17th of April, it's getting more installs. And on the 18th of April, it is at number 161. So it looks like the update for Injustice 2 has brought in more people. But as you can see, the revenue for the game is really bad at $680. And the reason for that is people don't want to spend money on the game. You know, people have gotten more tight-lipped, and they're probably spending their money elsewhere. That it's not doing quite as well. And obviously, the game is 5 years old. But if NetherRealm could incorporate some of the old mechanics into a game, you could see that the game could do really well. If we look on top grossing games, for example, obviously Fortnite is up there at 1.6. Candy Crush is still going strong to this day. Pokemon Go and Marvel Contest of Champions, a game that some of you guys might actually want me to play at some point. And also Marvel Strike Force should be on that list somewhere as well. And even Marvel Future Fight is held pretty strong there. So one of the games I've been playing lately is Marvel Strike Force, and as you can see, it's currently doing about $50,000 and getting about 25 downloads a day. So on average, people are probably spending a few bucks on the game. I know that there are some pay-to-win mechanics, meaning that you have to level your characters up or buy materials for power cores. And in order to speed up that process rather than playing the game outright, you can go through that path. But yeah, at one time, Injustice Gods Among Us was a $1 million game. And a lot of you guys from Injustice Gods Among Us might have caught my Battle 19 with Sinestro, how to beat him, if you guys remember that. Also, Bane in Battle 10 was a big deal. That kind of got me on the map. And even the challenges. Like, old challenges back in the day, I could get 200,000 views for showing off the final battle. And the only challenge that I don't have completed was Zod, because that challenge, obviously, I couldn't upload it because my hard drive died. And that's where I started using an actual PC hard drive instead of an external hard drive to save recordings, just so that didn't happen again. But you guys might also remember my farming credits, tips, and tricks video, my 10 most wanted pack video. You might even remember my Mortal Kombat Scorpion expert difficulty for some reason still generating views. Or Even Injustice Scorpion from Mortal Kombat X getting promoted up to Fusion 7 level 50. Injustice Gods Among Us was revolutionary in 2013. Obviously, Marvel Contest of Champions kind of ripped off some ideas from it and made it into a much better game than Injustice 2 because of much better updates, much more reliable stuff. And yeah, increasing the star level in Injustice 2 is a big deal. However, the game is just not fun. It needs more game modes, and I think that's the problem with Injustice 2. Injustice 2 needs more characters, more game modes, and it needs to be more rewarding to free-to-play players, and they need to loosen up the rankings in Arena. That's my big problem, and why I don't play Arena in Injustice 2, but Injustice 1 is fair, because you can get top 1% by just playing the game for about 10 hours. So I like this video, reliving the past on Injustice Gods Among Us, and it used to be a super popular game. Please give this video a like rating, comment, subscribe, share this video amongst your friends, and as a favorite, check out my other Injustice Gods Among Us videos playlist, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, which are all HollywoodShono, my Instagram, which is HollywoodShono's God, and you guys can see some of the data right here and what games are still generating a ton of money. Leave your comments down below, let me know what games you are playing, and have a wonderful day, kids.
www.youtube.com/HollywoodShono. Subscribe, bitches!